Botswana grocery retailer Choppies listed on the JSE's main board this morning. To give us more and tell us more about the company moving forward on our home ground is the company's chief executive, Ottapathu, who's in studio with us. Ram, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on your listing on the main board.
Thank you. Thank you.
Interesting time to come into the market. Why
Yes.
have you decided to embark on this listing right now?
So, we got a growth plan in Africa, especially moving towards Zambia, Tanzania, and we're looking at options in Kenya as well. And we taking a step based on our expansion plan, not looking at what is currently happening in South Africa.
In terms of expansions, I think you've got about 23 stores in South Africa. Are you planning at all to be expanding in South Africa, or is all the money raised from the listing to move north and east into the African continent?
We got 35 stores currently operating in South Africa. We got another 12 planned for the year in the Republic of South Africa. Okay. The rest is mainly coming up in Zambia and Tanzania, and a few more in Zimbabwe and Botswana.
Before we start talking about outside of the South African borders, which we really want to know about, the South African consumer is definitely under pressure. You've seen our growth rates that came out yesterday. Unemployment is sitting at 11-year highs. We've got electricity constraints. You still are feeling very bullish about this particular market. You still think that you could make it work here?
We are not coming to open anywhere and everywhere in South Africa. We have identified towns where we are going to be opening. Okay, in those towns we haven't felt so much of pressure, but I'm not saying that it is going to be insulated. Okay, whatever macroeconomic issues are in South Africa is going to be affecting us as well. But the towns we selected and rolling out are going to be different from slightly better, let me say that.
Different how? You say they're going to be different or slightly better? Just
it's not those mining towns or industrialized towns. We mainly into the border towns between Botswana and South Africa, in the provinces of Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and part of the Free State.
And in terms of growing market share, do you find that there's any brand loyalty, or is it more about the retailer that can offer the best price and then service closely followed behind that?
There is brand loyalty, but at the same time, if you look at the total value proposition, if you look at your pricing, your convenience, your quality, it's a combination of every factors. Once you offer that, and your value proposition is acceptable, I think there are potential to operate more retail stores in South Africa.
Moving into the east of the continent, how are you planning on moving in? Will you be in partnership with some of the main known brands? As Michael was talking about brand loyalty, Kenyans, for example, are known for brand loyalty. So how are you moving in?
Those markets will have a strong local partner. Okay. And in Kenya, we're looking at smaller acquisition opportunities, which we're pursuing vigorously at the moment.
Any time frames as to when we can expect you to see you in those markets?
It should be in the near future. Let me put it in the next 3 months' time.
Okay.
I don't have any other questions.
Just talking about other markets that you're in, if you're looking at Zimbabwe, how have you been able to still make it work there with the headlines that we've seen with the economic fundamentals?
Zimbabwean consumers are under pressure, but there is parallel flows in operating in Zimbabwe, which we don't see it in statistics. So being a lower end market operator, we never felt that much pressure at the bottom of the pyramid. But there are pressures at the top of the economy, yes.
You have a listing on the Botswana Stock Exchange. Yes. This is another one here on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. I think you know where I'm going with this one.
Yes.
You're moving into the east of the continent. I spoke to my colleague earlier on, Bonnie Tunya, about possibly a listing on the Nairobi Stock Exchange.
I don't have any mandate to talk about that at the moment.
And doing business on the African continent, I mean, you're in southern Africa, you're moving east. Can we see you moving west? And, you know, how hard is it to operate on this very big continent of ours?
There are challenges in every market. Even if you talk about Southern Africa itself, there are challenges localized in every market. Without challenge, you can't make money. That's for sure. So we need to. That's why we get better profit for overcoming those challenges. I think we must be optimistic about it, and we must have a plan in place to move on. We don't have any currently. We don't have any plans beyond Southern Africa. I'm not saying that you'll never see us anywhere else other than the markets we mentioned just now. But we got a lot of opportunities to capitalize better value for our capital in the markets we going into. So once that is done, we may look at in different markets as well.
What would be the best advice that you'd be able to offer to a company that is looking to expand or going very aggressively on the African continent? One thing that you've learned that you didn't know about, and now you've learned and thought, had I known this?
Try maximum to be a local. That is the best advice. Instead of going with a business principle, we're going to impose on a foreign land. It's better you adapt and change your business model to take opportunity at the local circumstances.
Adapt.
Yes.
Ram, thanks so much. Congratulations once again, and we hope to be seeing you soon. And when we talk about those expansion, hopefully our colleague in the east of the continent, Bonnie, will be speaking to you. Thanks so much to Ram Ottapathu. He's the Chief Executive of Choppies.